Test. What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, Video Game Podcast, episode number 226, or so we think.
It's all a mystery at this point.
I forgot to count. That's alright. I'm Jeff James, as was with me, the incredible, uncomfortable, luscious Brody Faults. It's bringing you beautiful gaming news to and eyeballs. We're live on the
Yeah.
I'm here repping my Seahawks. Hopefully they defeat Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams this evening. And Brody is sporting what appears to be
X-Men.
an X-Men shirt that is wrong. it's not the shirt he ordered.
Not the one I ordered. It's still cool, but it's not the one I ordered.
But, no, it is what it is, right? So
yeah.
Shit happens. Anyways, guys, yeah, so if you're listening to the podcast for the first time, whether it's the audio version or watching us on YouTube or Twitch live right now, welcome, first of all. Second of all, every single week, every Thursday at 9:30 Eastern Time, that's PM, Brody and myself go live on YouTube and Twitch and talk about the week's gaming news and rumors. And every Friday morning, early morning, you'll get the audio version of this podcast up on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you can listen to podcasts. And you can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast. Did I miss anything or no? I think I nailed it, right?
I think you got it.
You know,
did you plug OBO?
Oh, shoot. That's right. We also have another podcast called Objectively Bad Opinions. We go live every Monday on YouTube and Twitch. It's all over the fucking place when we go live, but we usually go live around 9:30 as well, Eastern Time. And then you can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. It's not a gaming podcast, but it is a shoot the shit and have a ton of fun podcast, and it gets absolutely ridiculous. But tonight's show is going to be good for Diggity. I mean, good God, man, we've got Last Smash character. We've got our first impressions on the Battlefield 2042 beta. First impressions on the Halo Infinite beta. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one. We got our boy Randy, not at the helm of Gearbox anymore. You know,
our favorite magician.
Yeah, our favorite magician. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good show. So with that,
I did want to apologize for not being live last week. My internet decided it just wasn't gonna do it, and I have gigabit internet, and I was getting like 5 megabytes down. So I barely even pulled off doing audio with the guys that I did that with last week. So if you typically watch us on YouTube, I strongly recommend going and checking out that episode. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good time with those guys, and yeah, it's everywhere. So, except for YouTube. Damn it!
I love it. So before we jump into some of the news, just quickly, what have you been playing?
So I actually played some It Takes Two. Some Super Mario 3D World, specifically the Bowser's Fury part of it, which pretty much wrapping up. I'm just getting some of the stars after you kind of defeat Bowser type of thing, or cat shines or whatever the hell they are in that. I can't remember. Played the Halo Infinite beta and the Battlefield 2042 beta, and this one's gonna be the shocker. I played Destiny 2 like a lot.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, it was the guys that I recorded with last week. They actually, one of them was playing Destiny, and he asked if I'd hop on. Well, I've kept it installed on my Xbox because my son will jump in and play every great once in a while. Mm. And so I loaded it up, and I think I'm at least momentarily hooked again. I know I said that about Final Fantasy XIV, but I don't think I've played Final Fantasy XIV since I said that last. So maybe this is how I break the curse. Maybe I just have to talk about it, and I'll never play it again. I don't know. Or at least for months. So, what have you been playing?
Man, I've been all over the place, let me tell you. So it's been a little while since I've been on the show because of just work and other crazy stuff that's come up. But I have played Overwatch. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Battlefield 2042 beta, which both of us have played. I have played Hearthstone on the iPad. That's like my toilet time game, dude, all the time. I mean, that's I'm just on there
A little bit of Hearthstone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I've here's the shameful ones. Played NASCAR Heat 4. I got a buddy, really good friends with him. Love him to death. Love him to death. He's not a big gamer. I mean, he's out there in the country. He's just doing his thing. He's out in Canada in the middle of nowhere, just doing his thing. And, I communicate with him and catch up with him through NASCAR Heat 4 and also Pro Fishing Simulator, which was something fascinating to me. But honestly, the Pro Fishing Simulator, I was at great peace playing that. That is relaxing.
Oh, I bet.
Shit, dude. I mean, it was incredible.
That just sounds incredibly boring to me.
You know what
I hopped on.
What I've loved about it is you could actually get in your boat and you could actually like rip around the lake into different parts.
Oh yeah,
and get out and you had like a trolling motor and everything. You had to change the tension on your reel and stuff. It's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
I hopped on last night and saw you were playing that. I was like,
what happened?
If he doesn't bring this up on the show, I will, because I gotta know what was going on.
Yeah. So I mean, it was fun. It's a good time. I just caught up with them. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. So I mean, let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this bad boy. Which one do you want to touch first? You want to touch Halo or you want to touch Battlefield?
Yeah, let's do Halo since you didn't play Halo.
Yeah, I did not. So I'll ask some dumb questions and I'll ask the pleb questions and then hopefully you can answer them. So go ahead.
So I actually didn't talk about Halo last week, even though I had been a part of the first closed beta. But then this last weekend was Big Team Battle. And from what I've played, I really enjoy that game. Played it on PC, but I was having issues with. I have a Razer mouse, and I was having issues with the with getting everything set up. Their software wasn't working properly, so I couldn't set my DPI to where I wanted it, and so playing with mouse and keyboard was not going to happen. So I played with a controller and got my ass beat all night. But playing on console, much better for me personally. So yeah, from what I have played, it was buttery smooth. I mean, I had no hitching issues. I had no weird kind of. I saw some things on the internet where people were posting like they would die when they were around a corner type of thing, but that's kind of typical for matchmaking games. I mean, that happens occasionally. Yeah. I never saw too much of it. Every great once in a while, you go up against some people that were just insane and way out of your league type of thing. But most of the time, like, especially for a beta, I never felt like I was way too far out of my depth. Some of the things take some getting used to. I mean, I have not played Halo in a really long time since Halo 5 came out, and even then I didn't play that all that much. So there's a few things that were it kind of took some getting used to. They gave you like a trial of the battle pass system, and it was a accelerated battle pass, so it went a lot quicker than what I think it's going to be in the final game.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was cool to see all that, and they also gave you enough credits to basically buy some items and some stuff like that, and then also the battle pass, and so you could kind of go in and just tinker around with customizing your Spartan a little bit. But I'm really, really excited for this. This game played very, very well. I really didn't have any issues. I have nothing to really complain about on this. This is exactly what I expected from a Halo game, and it's already very polished, and we still have 2 months until it comes out. Granted, I imagine now they're focusing a lot on campaign stuff, but as far as their multiplayer, it runs very, very well. My computer is not strong enough to really support great graphics for it, to be perfectly honest. I'm waiting for this awful graphics card drought to kind of
in 2020
die out. Right. So this is currently, games just don't run very well on it, but it edits videos and things like that, so I'm good. But
kind of do.
But on the Series X, it looked great. It looked great. It played great. I never noticed any frame rate drops. I really didn't have any issues, and I'm very stoked for this. I think with the way they're doing the battle pass system and the way, and even their I don't know what credits are going to actually end up costing. I did try to find that out because they had the option of like add more credits. So I clicked on it to see if it actually took you to a store link. It does not. But judging by kind of what you saw in there, it seems like it's going to be about par for the course for most things. I mean, you had some armor packs that were like it was like a helmet pack, I guess, that was like 700 credits, and they had some like gun weapons that were 700 credits, and I think the battle pass was like, oh god, I can't remember what the battle pass cost. I think it was like 1,000 credits maybe, which would probably be $10 would be my guess.
I'll be curious to see if they like do something where, because we've talked so many times about how the games with gold is like running out of its steam with games because they're just going between Game Pass and that program. I'd be curious to see if they start offering like Game Passes for free, like inside like battle passes or season passes.
That's very possible. They do some things like that already. They do like you get like some special packs or you get like some special armor and stuff for being like a Game Pass subscriber. But yeah, I think the customization is really cool in this. The way they do it, you can. What's that? I was
going to say, do you think so? Just before you get more into the details of stuff, just on the 50,000 foot view. So, do you enjoy this on the basis that it takes you back to older Halos, and you think that is going to withstand the test of time and still be, like the? Because the thing is, right, is like, are people going to be playing this game like a year and a half from now, right, online? Or do you think or is this a new take on Halo, enough of a new take where it's refreshing and fixes some of the older things that people didn't generally like, but also complements a lot of the things that people did want?
So I think it is a pretty good marriage of both. Okay. I think as far as how the gameplay felt, I think it felt more like Halo 5, but I think it felt better because I didn't really care for how Halo 5 felt even. But I mean, Halo 4 and Halo 5 have kind of had some of the same implementation type of deals, which now they're just extending it into this. So ever since 343 took over the Halo franchise, they've kind of been somewhat samey, but this one actually felt more fluid. And, they have like the grappling hook and they have these different things you can pick up on the field at any time. And they weren't like the older Halos. Those were hard to get, like way harder to get than what they were in this. Like it wasn't a big deal to, go around and find the gravity hammer and actually be able to get it at some point in time or whatever it may be. Yeah. I think everything about this was just it was like a streamlined and more precise Halo experience, if that makes sense. But there's still that nostalgia, right? Like it's still Halo at the end of the day, and just jumping back in and playing how Halo plays, because it is very distinct from a Battlefield or from a Call of Duty. It is its own thing for sure, and a lot of that still stands. And I don't think this is going to be a game that dies out as long as they support it properly, which I think they're definitely trying to go that route. And I think this game actually has some staying power, and I can guarantee you right now it's going to be the smoothest multiplayer launch out of Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Halo.
Do you think that this
easily
is going to be like a Fortnite style situation where the multiplayer is super successful, but the campaign is just, or story or online, I guess, the element is going to be lackluster? I mean, we're on for a year, right? Isn't that the...
No. Campaign comes out at launch.
Okay. All right.
Splits or multiplayer campaign or co-op campaign is pushed back. I don't know. That's kind of one of those things that it's different from Fortnite in the way of it's a storied franchise, right? Like this is something that's been around for a long time, and a lot of people are very passionate about having the campaign, and there's a lot of people that are very upset that there's not co-op campaign at launch, which I don't really care too much about. That's fine. It'd be cool to play with somebody, but trying to get with somebody and make sure that you're on at the same time, and then you don't play it when they're not on, type of thing. Like, I'd rather just play through the story and experience it and be done with it, type of thing. Because I'm not the type of person that's gonna go through and spend a ton on it. I'm gonna go through, play through it, and then I'm gonna go back to multiplayer. But
Sure.
Overall, I really, I mean, some of the weapons could have been here in Halo 5 or even Halo 4, and I just am forgetting. But I also didn't play Halo 5 a ton, so there were some weapons that were new to me, at least, and I thought they all felt pretty good for the most part. There was a couple of them I didn't care for, but that might just be me. The sniper feels just as good as Halo has ever felt with a sniper. Like, it's so good. I loved it. And the first time I actually got the sniper rifle and pulled off a pretty good headshot with it. I mean, it was like, that was nostalgia right there. It was like a very distinct feeling of playing multiplayer back in the day. But overall, I am way more excited for this. The only thing that was a bummer is, while I was playing through it, they had this the battle pass, and they called it the Season 0 battle pass. So I thought, like, everything you earned here could only be earned here, and you weren't going to get it when the game came out. So I started grinding through it pretty heavily, and then I actually looked it up, and none of that progress carries over, which kind of sucks, because I was really hoping these items were things that just people who played the beta would get, and no, it sounds like these could be the same items that appear in the first season battle pass. So that was my only bummer about it. Other than that, overwhelmingly positive. Very, very excited to see
Nice.
more maps and more modes and everything in this game.
Have they put out like a release or schedule of other betas?
I have not seen anything else. I also haven't necessarily gone looking for it, but I think
Sure.
we might end up getting one more, maybe. But this big team battle weekend was the actual like open beta, so it was a little open. I think you still had to sign up for Insider, but pretty much everybody got in, type of thing. So there might be one more, but I'm not sure, because it comes out early December. So I'll let you go first on Battlefield, since I just talked for a while.
That's all right, man. Yeah, so Battlefield 2042, beta's on right now. When's the beta over?
It's 4 days. There's 2 days of closed and 2 days of open. So what? 6th, 7th, 8th. It looks like it ends on the 9th.
Okay, so Saturday it ends.
Yeah, Saturday is the last day for it.
Okay, cool. All right, so I've played a few hours into it. There's the one map. It's interesting. I guess like my first, so if I had to sum up everything into one sentence as a quick little title, if I was to write an article, it'd be kind of confused, I guess. A bit would be mine. And not necessarily confused on the basis of whether I like it or not. More confused on the basis of how it was sold to us. And I don't mean this from the standard Gamergate bullshit where people are like, well, this was false advertising. I just think that it was, in comparison to the gameplay versus what was announced, what was sold to us, and then what was in trailers, seemed like such an expansive multiplayer experience that was very simulation based, minus the crazy weather effects, obviously like tornadoes and such. But when playing it, it feels like the most arcadey Battlefield I've ever played.
Did you play Hardline? Hardline was really arcadey, but yeah, I right up there with Hardline. Honestly, I agree.
Yeah, I did not play Hardline. I just wanted to play, what do they call it? Is it Conquest? The massive, whatever game mode is, where it's the massive all-out war, where it's 160 onto it.
No, I mean,
I know Battlefield Hardline, the game, but I mean also the features. Sorry, we're both confusing each other.
No.
So there was two. Was there only one game mode, or is it? Because I know there's more than 2 or 3 in there.
It's just Conquest.
Okay,
Because
cool.
the other two were grayed out. Yep.
Okay,
yep.
all right. So it feels pretty arcadey to me, which is fine. I I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more realism to it, to be honest with you. I get that it's kind of based in this loose future with current and advanced warfare a little bit in some aspects. In terms of the graphics, a little bit of a letdown, but I'm also not letting that be a mainstay for me because it's a beta. So I'm sure there's things that are turned off because shit was breaking stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
Something I did love is I love the vehicles. I love how they drove. I liked, at least on this map, the vehicles that we could use. I thought were really cool. I felt like they really handled the issue that they had been discussing so many times about feeling like there's always something to do in the vehicles. There's only one vehicle where I felt like it was a waste of my time, which was in one of the attack helicopters. One of the positions is you're just standing with the door open and you have your gun. Well, if you're not, if you're a certain class, I mean, that's a waste of your time, right? But that's the only one that I came across of where I was like, oh man, like this is,
Did you get in the electric F-150?
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was kind of a waste of time too, because that thing is slow as shit.
Yeah, it is. And I tried the ATVs out. I tried everything out. I tried the jets out. I tried the attack helicopter. I tried like the Jeep style kind of turret gun, the tank. Sorry, not the tank. I didn't get a chance to try the tank out. But like I thought that was really good. The guns, I feel like they're okay so far. The changing parts on your weapons, I could see how that would be neat in game, and I enjoyed the UI for that.
Were you able to actually change attachments?
No, I was not, but I could see how
I was not either.
Be easy with the D-pad.
I thought I was going crazy. I looked it up, and people are like, "Yeah, I actually, use it all the time. This was great." And I was like, "I can't do it. It will not let me do it."
I couldn't do it, but it was there, and I'm like, if this worked, I could see how this is nice and easy to switch shit out.
Yeah, it'd be great.
One of the coolest things I liked was on my sniper class, the grappling hook gun. Super cool to use. You fire that up there, and it's infinite, so you can just keep reloading it and going up different places. I thought that was pretty neat. So I was able to get up to places, and then I was able to snipe, but I had to use iron sights to snipe.
Which was
a pain in the ass.
Not great.
I'm wondering if I put more hours into it, if I'd be able to unlock maybe changing things on my gun. I don't know.
I don't know if that was that was one of my big complaints, or one of my complaints is there was no upgrade path. There was no, this is what you need to do in order, and I'm sure a lot of the UI is locked off right now, right? But there was no hey, you got to get this many kills with this gun in order to unlock the
there was no
the
walkthrough.
No, it was just here you go.
Here's the game.
I know.
There's really no tutorial on anything. There was no walkthrough on anything. There's no background to the beta, like what you might experience. No pop-up, nothing. It's pretty fascinating for that. There's some bugs and glitches here, totally expected. I do hope that the graphics are better. At least on the console side, I thought that they were, lesser than that of a Warzone, to be honest with you, or similar class to a Warzone in many ways. You could see that there was attention paid to certain things, and then other things were just completely neglected. And they weren't things that were far off draw distance. They were things that were close, where you're like, oh, for example, the puddles, right? So I was trying out a bunch of stuff. I was that asshole or that idiot just on his team, looking around at everything, right? Trying to study everything for the show. And, I'm driving around or whatever. I'm noticing how there's, you can see just behind the exhaust on the Jeep, you can see how it blurs in and out for the heat coming off of the tailpipe off it. I'm like, that's fantastic, right? But then I'm watching the mud on my tires, and the mud is not sticking to my tires. And then I'm looking at the puddle, and there's no reflection of the puddle of me. There's no reflection of the puddle of my vehicle. I'm looking at just weird shit, which could all be just, turned off or whatever for beta, or just not working or broken, or who knows.
Yeah.
I thought that, the map and stuff like that, I thought the map was okay. I didn't think it was a fantastic map by any means.
I don't think it was a strong one to lead with.
Yeah, I don't think it was a strong one to lead with in a beta. Perhaps it has the most complexities to it. I hope that's not true, because I found it to be kind of a boring map.
I found it very dull.
And I found it to be kind of like a sniper's paradise because it's basically just a bunch of peaks that then have bases down in valleys. And so you park a vehicle up there and hammer away. The anti-aircraft missile system, not a big fan of it. A lot of times when I was using it, it would bug out, which is a bug. But also, like, when you're in the one complaint I have in the vehicles is, given the haptic feedback through the haptic triggers and everything, I felt like they were so dull in the vehicles, especially when using like the anti-aircraft missiles or when using the guns. I felt like I wasn't. I mean, I felt like I was playing with an Xbox controller, which is not a diss. It's just I felt like I didn't have it. Like there was no point in having the adaptive triggers, which again, perhaps it's not in that build. Customer character customization is very interesting. Everything is very minimal. The UI is very minimal. The menus are very minimal, and then you get like 2 or 3 screens deep into those menus, and it's a clusterfuck. There's just so many options and so many things. And so it's kind of like a facade to me. And the problem I have with it is you go into like character customization, all these things. And like, let's keep in mind, this is a game that is going to be online only. There's no campaign for this game. There's no campaign. And this is a $70 game.
Yeah.
And the way it is currently designed UI wise, character customization, and the fact that what you were talking about, where like it's like, hey, I'm now this level, and typically, in games of this genre and style, you get a little shadow or a peek of like half a peek of what may be next in the next level, right? Like here's this stock that's going to come up for a gun, or here's a silhouette of something that's going to be coming up next, right? Kind of battle pass mentality style, right? Not there. And so, like, I'm playing this thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe it's just the beta. But if this is the full release game with this kind of roadmap, with this kind of menu system, character customization, weapon customization, I mean, that's not good. That's not a good dealio, because it does not feel like it's $70. And yes, there's only one map. I get it. It's a beta. But just the way that the game is currently designed, like I felt personally that the last Battlefield looked better than this one.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's crazy.
Yep. It really is. I mean, Battlefield 5 actually, well, I didn't care for it all that much just because I've said it on here a million times, but I like modern guns. I don't want to shoot old guns. There's a reason we've moved away from older guns and gone to things that are much more modern and significantly better engineering behind them. But I think Battlefield 5 actually looked pretty good, though. I thought there was a lot of depth in different colors and the way they built out their maps with a lot of like variety in what you would see, whereas this map was very dull as fuck. It was the most.
I was able to look at different assets. Like it's one thing with street lamps, right? Like whatever, cool. It's another with like panels on the side of a building. Like for example, in that map, there's a building. Okay, on I forget what point, but on one of the peaks, it's got just a red ribbon around the top of it. It's like a steel style building or whatever, right? It's a base of some sort, right? From some sort of army. And then down the way, the same fucking building, the same layout. One wall is removed, but now it's yellow.
Yeah.
It's shit like that. Drives me fucking nuts. And then like the destruction and stuff like that. Again, it's a beta. Maybe there's
pretty minimal
issues with it, right? But like, for example, I'm sitting there in, a turret jeep essentially, right? Like some sort of mobilized turret unit. Guys hiding behind a bunch of wooden crates. I'm firing, this machine gun at his damn crate. The crate's not blowing up.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm in a fighter jet. I'm flying around. I drop bombs down on this building. It took 20 bombs in order for the building to show damage. And what shows damage? The fucking AC unit on the roof. The roof did not collapse. The building did not collapse. Battlefield 4 had a better destructive system in it than this beta so far.
By a long shot. Battlefield 4 had a ton of destruction in it.
Yeah, and it's just wild to me. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some neat stuff where you're in a jet, you fire down on the ground, and it creates an explosion that craters. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's not just a flat crater that you're gonna drive over. That's that has an actual depth to that crater, and when you drive your vehicle over, now it's gonna bump. That was cool. That's great. That's neat. Only happens on roads.
Really? It didn't happen
on land.
Huh.
Only happens on roads and a slight radius or slight, I don't know what you want to call it, a couple feet off of a road. Does not happen on the side of a hill. Grenades. You throw a fucking grenade. It was a joke. It looked like a fucking...
It looked like a sparkler. Or like a firecracker. Like it just...
Yeah, it was like...
Yeah.
At first I was like, maybe it's just a glitch, Hey, maybe these aren't grenades. Maybe there's like flashbangs or something like that. No, they're fucking grenades. Future doesn't look bright, dude. 2042 doesn't look so great from a war perspective.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be more dangerous and deadly and more blunt. You go back in engineering. I mean, it was just fascinating to me to play. Like, I turned it on. I was like so excited. I get in there. I'm playing it. I'm like, okay, all right. There was no, whoa, look at the graphics here. There was no, whoa, look how this is, playing out. Look how this is happening. I mean, the parachute sucks. You go down. I get it. I actually really enjoy the fact that it causes a vision blur, which it normally, realistically it would at that speed you're going down.
Right.
But then there's no animation when you pull the chute. You pull the chute and it just goes, and then you just kind of like move around.
Yeah, now you're just kind of coasting a little bit.
You never see the chute. You never see anything.
You see it like, I think you barely see your strings and like you grab hold of them type of thing.
It's very odd to me. I really, really, really hope that this is just a incredibly raw beta. And that this is not the game, because if this is the game, good God.
So I saw a lot of people, they're like, well, people that are complaining about this have never played a Battlefield beta before. I've played the Battlefield 4 beta. I've played Battlefield 1 beta. Never 5. Saw some... did we play Battlefield 5 beta?
Did.
Yep.
We did.
I've played the last 3 Battlefield games. I've played their betas.
Far more polished as a
I played Hardline too. So the last 4 Battlefield games, I have played their betas. None of them were as glitchy and buggy and disappointing as this one was for me.
This is literally a step back.
Absolutely. So I played probably about an hour and I quit playing because not having a scope on a sniper and also not knowing what you need to do in order to unlock it. I'm not just going to sit here with a sniper with fucking iron sights and try to play. Like that, no. That's not fun.
I'm not on a map that is a sniper's paradise.
And it's huge and open. It's huge and open. I know people had scopes because you could see the scope glare.
Yep.
But I don't. There was no like path to show what you needed. Honestly, the UI was fucking abysmal. It was terrible.
I agree. I think if the gun attachment works, I was trying to figure out how they would do that, because there's always what they show in the trailer and then there's what's in real life, and I think that what that would do if it worked for us, or we figure out how you'd unlock it for us. If we were able to use that would be, I could see how it would work quite fluidly. Yes.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
But I also don't think it has to be so fucking huge that you can't see anything in front of you at the same time. I mean, it could have been a pop-up.
It could have been a lot smaller, yeah.
It could have been a pop-up
for sure.
with a live... It just been a HUD with a live feed of what's going on. It doesn't need to have the blue shit and, the opaque shit and having, the classic, take me back to the trailers where they're just like blowing up shit.
See, that didn't bug me so much. What did bug me was the where you could modify your classes.
Oh my god,
that was confusing as shit. The first time I opened it up,
because you were
I actually
working on a y-axis, then to an x, then an y-axis, back to a y-axis.
It was
six
ridiculous.
fucking clicks down. You go 6 screens down, and
this was your
interchangeable
gun
axes every time.
And yeah, it was. I really, really despised that. I didn't like the way it was set up. It was confusing as hell. As far as to me, once I went down to modify, I felt like I should be able to just move my left stick to select what I wanted, hit A, and then go into it that way, which would have made more sense to me. No, you're using RB and then you're using the stick to select the thing inside of it. It was a mess. It just, nothing about that felt natural, and I'm not like, I don't know how you're going to put a UI like that into a game and act like that's just something we've been doing forever, because that's not how UI works.
Like, not to shit on free-to-play games. I've worked on the free-to-play game development side of things. That's a UI of a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
That is a UI of like like an entry-level free-to-play game of let's get this out to market, get people playing, and then we'll do our UI tweaks after. That is not a fleshed out UI. That is a super, like, there's great minimal UIs. There's fantastic minimal UIs. Like Watch Dogs has a great minimal UI system. Most Ubisoft titles have fantastic UI systems that do kind of what this game was trying to figure out in many ways. This was a mess. This is a mess of a UI. It's hard to find shit. It doesn't make sense. There's things that you could do in 1 click. You got to do it in 3 for no reason. You can't see shit. There's no big breakout. Like when you pull up a gun, like I want to be able to move it around and shit like that you can in Warzone.
Yeah.
The gun's already there. The file's already there. Just let me move it.
Right.
It's already rendered in front of me. What the fuck is going on?
To kind of tie into the UI thing, if you go in to change your control settings, there's the option to change from default, alternate, and then there was one other. The craziest fucking part about that is it doesn't show you what the fucking layout is. It doesn't load a controller. So I'm just supposed to fucking guess? What is this?
So I had an issue where I was using the drone. Okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't blow it up. I couldn't fire on anything at all. And I went, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I tried to go in the controls. There's no pop-up for any of the things for the vehicle.
It doesn't show you any of the buttons.
I'm clicking the pad on the on the PlayStation controller. I'm clicking options. I'm clicking everything. I'm like, what the hell? What do I do? How do I use it? How do I blow it up? I didn't figure out the anti-aircraft stuff until I looked down in the bottom of the screen and saw AA next to the missile. I went, why the fuck can't I fire this shit? Where I want.
You have to lock in on
for everything. Yeah. But then the lock-on blows ass because you lock on, it says it's locked on, you click it, and they don't even use like they don't use like angel's wings or anything like that, right, on their vehicle.
Right.
They just steer a little bit more and it goes past them and you're like, okay, cool, great. Like that map, when the rocket goes off, the plumes of smoke around you look hideous, looks awful.
I didn't even get to see the rocket go off in 3 games. Three games, never saw it go.
Looks choppy as shit. The decals on the side of the rocket are pixelated. I mean, there's one big, it's a class. I don't know. Like there's not really much imagination with the map that we have to play either too, because it's got the classic. Here's a giant ass skyscraper. Hey, everyone's gonna fight in it and sit on the top of it. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's how Siege of Shanghai was.
And I was expecting things like, I mean, you go back to like other battlefields, you get into a tank and you go like night vision or something, or you put on, it goes into the green spec mode, right? Mm-hmm. Where you can see the video feed. This one's blue, but it's not blue spec. It's like a video feed. It's not even a fucking, it doesn't look realistic at all.
Right.
And I get it. I understand somebody like, well, it's 2042, bro. Okay. I get that, but all the fucking things in what they've basically done is they've taken like a fucking Raptor, okay, jet, and then they've just put on almost like steampunk style, a couple like little extra bolts and different things.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a future jet. Okay.
Hey,
You
the
can't tell me
future.
that in the 2042 that we're not going to use something that can define the outline and shape of something, rather than just give me what appears to be a 1080p stream with a blue filter on top of it. That's not going to happen. That's not a thing. You know, that's not. If I want to use an aircraft missile, okay, I'm not going to look down the scope of a fucking glass telescope. I'm going to look into the. I'm going to look into shit going on. There's going to be little squares moving around. There's going to be shit coming in. I'm going to see different stats coming in. I mean, it just didn't scream futuristic. It screamed like what I just said. Okay, this jet, future jet. It's got a couple of extra strips of metal on it and a couple different pieces of paint on it. Future jet. That's what
So
it is.
I also had a problem with I used the character where I could use the grappling hook for a little bit. I would use the grappling hook and then I would go to use it again and it wouldn't let me. And it would never. There was no cooldown. Like as far as I could tell, there wasn't a cooldown. I couldn't. There was no
cooldown on mine.
Oh, I could not. So mind you, I was also playing. I was playing on Series X, and you were playing on PS5.
Yeah.
I had glitches like fucking crazy.
Okay, I didn't have,
and that's why I quit
glitches.
playing.
I had issues with nobody's telling me what the fuck I need to do or how I can do it. I had the classic, couple of black lines here and there coming across the screen, where like the polys are just freaking the fuck out. I had like some of the animations sketch out, had some lag that was not my side, it was their side. Just weird stuff like that. The grappling hook, the thing that pissed me off the most is like, here I am, I'm going to use a sweet grappling hook gun. The animations are shit.
Oh, they're bad. And it defies the laws of physics. Like, you literally can go, like, entirely sideways.
Not that, like, if you're going to do that, right? Like, do this sweet animation where I'm pulling it out and, like, it's heavy as fuck. I'm slapping it into my hand.
Yeah.
I'm going like this. Perhaps there's a little bit of, movement to it because it's so fucking heavy. When I fire it, it fires fucking back and I should get, like, a plume of smoke. I should almost get, like, a little bit of a fucking fuzz. Then it goes up on top of it. I get to feel it go, with my haptic feedback in my controller. Then when I'm pulling it, when I pull it, I should almost have a fuzz that comes about when I get launched up into the air or whatever, and it's pulling me up into it. And then I get picked up and I slam and I get the rumble. I mean,
I don't even want that. I just want it to feel better.
I want it to feel like the fucking future. Instead, it feels like a free-to-play fucking game where someone just added this item and this is just okay.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
There's more animation in Warzone.
Yeah.
Than what we have out of this.
So one of the glitches I had going back into that, so I had people teleporting all over the fucking place because, I mean, I assume I equated it to lag, but it was some weird fucking shit where somebody was here and then they were there and then there was another guy. Like, it was fucking wild. I was driving a truck one time and I went into... it was like some tunnel area or whatever, and I go down into the tunnel, and once I hit the bottom of the tunnel, it kicked me the fuck out of the truck and damn near killed me, and the truck just kept driving. And there was no particular reason. Like, the truck was halfway into the ground, and my character's, like, once I like looked around, I checked to make sure my character wasn't halfway through the floor of it, and he was not. I had, I don't know, man. There was just, and honestly, aside from the glitches, I also didn't care for the guns that we had. None of them were impressive. They virtually looked the same.
There's no global chat, by the way.
No global chat? Really? What the fuck is going? They need to push this game back. They need to fucking push it back.
They're going to. It's remember what everyone was saying where they were
yeah. There's rumor about
people don't like it, then they're gonna delay it until like what is it, like March of next year or something fucking crazy like that.
Yeah, I think so. They need to. Honestly, the state this beta came out in was rough. And again, I have played the last 4 Battlefield betas. I know what a Battlefield beta looks like. This is not it, Chief. This is fucking rough. I have been so excited to play this game. So far, I have played an hour of it. An hour. And I got sick of it and went and played something else because the glitches made it unplayable. The fucking UI was garbage. Like, I had no desire to stay in there and actually continue to play this game. So I went and played something else. I went and fucking played Destiny 2.
Dude, also the characters look like shit.
They look like dog ass.
Look like dog shit.
Yeah.
Their eyes
bad.
are fucking huge. They look like Pixar characters. It's like, what the fuck am I playing?
Yeah.
Here's some Reddit comments, as we always do.
I think this is half-baked as fuck, and they really...
Here's some Reddit comments that we can discuss and agree with or not. So, this is just on the Battlefield 2042 open beta discussion, feedback, and support mega thread. So, this guy's a PC player. Says, biggest issues I've seen so far is a lot of features aren't working properly or aren't there. M to open map doesn't work by design or not. That's fucked up. Chat doesn't work by design or not. Need to have different key layouts for jets and helis, not both as one. Glitchy aviation battles. See a lot of enemy fighters just keep teleporting out of locked on shots due to latency teleporting. Only in air battles have seen it on ground. Exiting vehicles / gunners sometimes causes loss of control of partial mouse or keyboard. People said, yikes, this game is horseshit. I was really excited, but yikes feels more like GTA Online or Warzone than anything remotely akin to a Battlefield game.
I think it felt worse than either of those even.
It says, this user says, I'm really trying to like the game. I really am. I love the Battlefield franchise to death, but I'm about one more game away from canceling my pre-order. There's just so much wrong with the game, more than they can fix by launch, I think. I can't even begin to describe how disappointed I am. Headshot damage needs to be increased for the DMR. I see no reason to use the DMR over an AR. Oh man, it's
pretty negative across the board for the most part.
So EA stock dropped 7% the other day because of negative Reddit reviews on this. I mean, this is their biggest game this year.
Yeah,
there's FIFA, there's all that shit. This is the biggest one. Like
the amount of people I saw defending it were significantly less than the people that were knocking on it, because I have been excited about this game since they announced it, and this is very, very disappointing. And I don't know. On top of that, I just got done playing the Halo beta over the weekend, which was, I mean, damn near as perfect as I could have asked for, really. And then to go into this, I mean, it was bad. I bet you I had every bit of 6 to 8 hours in the Halo beta, and this was just I don't know, like an hour maybe. I played 3 games, and the last game we got demolished, and it was like a 5-minute game. So because I loaded into one that was already going downhill. Yeah, it's not good. I mean,
why no crouch running? This user says, why no changing to laying on your back when prone? Why is the slide so arcadey? Movement is too fast, but also doesn't feel smooth somehow. Guns have no recoil. It feels like COD. Can't see who has ammo or health when you die. You don't know if there's any medics.
Oh, that's another one.
Ever wait?
That's another one I wanted to point out.
X. It's like I mean, who can come kill me?
I also wanted to. I also wanted to point out the fact that it's kind of hard to tell who your teammates are, because it just gives them a little blue or red dot above their head. Or, sorry, it's a blue dot if they're on your team and nothing if they're on the other team. So it's not super easy to tell who's who, especially from a distance when you don't have a fucking sniper scope. Just saying.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. This is, if this is a game, boy, oh boy, we're in for like a Battlefront situation where it's going to be, a fucking year of doing updates to it to make it look better, right? And to make it run better and to make it playable. The crazy thing on this, too, is I think this also just solidifies that working from fucking home while you're in the video game industry does not work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's a shit model. of business, because that's
Yeah.
when this was being developed over the last couple of years, and then obviously the snafu in the middle of it all was to work on it from home.
Right. I agree. I don't know, man. Like I said, I would not be surprised if they push this back. In fact, I would be pretty happy. I think they really need to push it back. I think that this needs a little bit more time in the oven. And
this came out. This was supposed to come out
this
10
month
days from now, originally.
Yeah. Yep. Thank God it didn't.
And
now it's only pushed back.
Game.
And now it's pushed back to
November.
I know November, but 18th.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a month. I think they should push it to spring, but I don't. I think they're gonna end up. I think they're gonna end up putting it out before the end of the year.
Oh my God.
Because I think EA wants it on their final quarter.
This shit.
I think they are. Battlefield has a history of coming out in a pretty rough state anyway.
Yes, but never this rough.
This is the roughest I have ever seen.
Rough version.
It is bad. It's real bad. I'm part of me wishes that we could have gotten Evan on here tonight because he has 6 hours in it, so he must be feeling pretty good about it. And I'm very curious.
You got to call him after this show and just pick his brain if he's on.
Because I'm wondering if maybe it ran better on PC, there was less issues or something.
This is PC people playing this, what I'm reading.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. I think this is just bad. This is very bad in its current state. Oh my.
Crazy. Anyways, moving on. Good God.
Yeah.
We still have some stuff to get through. We'll rip through pretty quickly, but do you want to hit up on the
I gotcha. Yeah, so Sora is the final character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So obviously Sora is the main protagonist of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I don't know. There's been a lot of spin-off games. Somebody's probably going to argue with me about that. I don't know. Sora's the face of the fucking franchise. So Sora will be added on October 18th. He will be included in the Fighter Pass 2 or can be purchased as a standalone character for $5.99. And of course they had the whole presentation showing off move sets and this and that. There's also your typical new Mii character outfits and shit that you can get to. Alongside this news, we also heard that three Kingdom Hearts collections will be making their way to the Switch, but as cloud versions rather than the actual game itself. So these will be Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix. That's one of them. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. And Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind. And the person who names Kingdom Hearts games should just absolutely be fired. I don't call for people to be fired, but this is fucking horseshit. I have no clue what's going on. It's insane. I hate the naming convention, and the story is 10 times more confusing. I actually... before I go into this, so far there has actually been no release date for when these games are actually going to come out. But on top of that, these games actually include like 10 different games across the three of them. It's wild. I went through Square Enix's breakdown on this, and there's like 10 different Kingdom Hearts experiences in this thing, or in these three cloud version games. But
crazy.
I watched a video today that popped up on my timeline, or not on my timeline, on my recommended on YouTube, and it was Video Game Donkey doing a video about the Kingdom Hearts story, and you know how he normally is doing like weird shit and like trying to piss people off. He told the whole story, and I swear to God, it sounded like it could have been one of his scripted videos where he's just like actually like, yeah, and then the bad guy's Pumbaa, and you're like, what the fuck? No, turns out that shit's real. So, this absolutely batshit insane. I'm not a Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm a little disappointed with the final character. I don't really care all that much.
So you're disappointed with the final character?
Yeah, I'm not.
You can be Doom Guy with a Mii outfit.
This is true, and that's probably what I'll do before I play as Sora. I don't like Kingdom Hearts. I'm flat out. I just don't fucking like it.
I also think it's bullshit that we did not get Waluigi.
I thought for sure that was going to be the troll. Just hold him and hold him and hold him.
To this day,
he's just an assist trophy. I really wanted to see something else. I didn't. I mean, we already have Cloud. We have Sephiroth. I feel like Square already has a pretty decent kind of presence in this game. I would have liked to see something new. See, like I think Master Chief would have been really cool. I also don't know how it really works, but then again, we've had Solid Snake in there for a long time, so clearly Sonic. They could have done it. We have fucking Sonic.
I mean, good God.
Pac-Man. I mean,
I don't know if there's any right answer as to who it should have been.
No, honestly, no matter what, people would have been upset.
Pretty strong feeling too that he's not the last character. That they do some expansion pack on top of this or something. I mean, unless they're gonna come up with another Smash in like a year, who knows?
I don't think it'll be on this. Nintendo has a pretty good habit of not releasing multiple games from the same franchise on one console. So I think this would be like a Switch 2 type of thing where we would maybe see the next Smash Bros. But by God, he does need to take a break. That poor guy. He's done a lot of fucking work for this game. I'm not like salty about this by any means. It's not at all who I would have wanted to see in Smash. So, sure.
But moving on, we've got something that hasn't hit the airwaves in a long time on this show, but the Randy Pitchford update. Randy Pitchford is no longer the president of Gearbox Software. It's crazy. So Randy will remain the CEO of Gearbox Entertainment, but now will be shifting focus to film and TV by acting as the president of Gearbox Studios.
This was the most strange announcement in the world. He's like, "Hey, no longer at Gearbox Software, but I'm still the CEO, and now I'm also in charge of Gearbox Studios."
Yeah, Randy's replacement on the software side of Gearbox will be Steve Jones, and Steve Jones previously had been the chief technology officer within Gearbox. I don't know.
We're still gonna see him at every
medieval times.
Every presentation. Medieval times. Anytime they have some fucking bullshit thing, they always bring him out on stage. Not because he really needs to announce anything about the fucking game, but because he wants to come out and do magic tricks. So I guarantee we will still see him at fucking just all over the place. I mean, it's E3 and
well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, if you look at Gearbox right now, you've got, oh my God, what is it? The Borderlands,
Tiny Tina's,
Wonder,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to be very big.
Probably not.
And then you had their launch of their title for PS5, which completely flopped, and Xbox, it completely flopped for this next gen. Like, nobody plays it.
Godfall.
Yeah. And now they're going to make a shit ton of money off of licensing their shit to Netflix.
Yeah.
So pivot.
Yeah.
I guess, but the last Borderlands that came out, people weren't too happy about Borderlands.
Yeah, 3's kind of in a weird spot. Some people look back on it fondly now. I don't know. I feel like this Tiny Tina's Wonderland actually looks significantly better than what Borderlands 3 was to me, at least at launch. I think it actually looks interesting. The Borderlands movie looks like it. I mean, we haven't seen shit about it really up until this point, but I don't know about some of these castings, and there's a lot of things that I'm not hopeful for that movie at all. Not even a little bit.
To be honest with you, not to sound like an asshole, but I don't think it's going to be something where people, if they don't know that it's a video game, are going to want to see it.
No. No.
And
It's
there's not. It's
strictly
not like
a video
super
game.
mainstay name. Like my dad, right, knows about the Sonic movie, knows about the Pikachu movie. He knew about the World of Warcraft film. I mean, there's just.
I feel like the Warcraft film is a little obscure too, to some extent, right? I mean,
but people have heard of World of Warcraft.
right?
They understand the
some
concept of it in some super
like
basic regard.
yeah.
You get
But as far as
there, like you get Borderlands on there, and aside from in the trailer when it's going to say based on the popular video game or hit video game, if you tick that out, people are going to go, "This looks like a shitty movie about a desolate Mad Max area."
yeah, absolutely.
I just don't see it doing well.
Yeah, like Sonic and Pikachu obviously are in a whole different realm from World of Warcraft. Like World of Warcraft is crazy.
My dad knew about
did he really?
shit. My dad knew about the Assassin's Creed stuff.
Should we call him right now? Have him on the show? Be like, hey.
Hospital.
No, that's true.
He's on a bunch of drugs in the hospital for surgery. He's probably like, hey, what's up?
But yeah, no, this is a weird one. I don't know.
So get this too.
It is what it is.
On that note about my dad. So I called him yesterday. We were chatting about some stuff, and what I was talking about too, and then he proceeds to tell me that in his final moments before going to get an open heart surgery, surgeon's in there, everybody's in there, and they're all asking questions to each other like, okay, everyone good? Everyone good? They turn to my dad, and the surgeon asks them, do you have any questions? And my dad just goes, have you done this before?
That is very much something I can perfectly picture your dad doing.
Have you done this before?
Not asking, in the pre-planning or anything leading up to this, just on the fucking table getting ready to have surgery.
The surgeon said to him, yeah, don't worry, I YouTubed it. And then he put
Nighty-night. Yeah. Good God.
Oh, Jesus.
So Epic Games is launching achievements.
Hey.
Look at that. This new function is set to launch next week and will allow you to start collecting XP by earning epic achievements in select games. So this is
one named communism.
Maybe. This is different from the developer achievements that have already been in the game. God damn it.
There's one called communism, one called censorship.
Oh Jesus.
One called general leader.
Yeah. There will be 4 tiers within the achievement system. Bronze, which is anything that is 5 to 45 XP. Silver, which is anything 50 to 95 XP. Gold, which is 100 to 200 XP. And Platinum, which is 250 XP, which will be awarded upon getting 1,000 XP in a specific game. And at launch, the game list will include Rocket League, Hades, Pillars of Eternity, Kena, Zombie Army 4, Alan Wake Remastered, and more.
Here's my question. Is there an achievement for only playing under 2 hours of video games a day per the CCP? Or
No, it's not even. It's like 3 hours a week.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 3 hours a week, yeah.
Yeah,
is there an achievement for that? Like,
there might be. There might be.
Like, oh grateful kin of land.
Oh God. Well,
look, I'm just fucking saying.
This is the last episode of Diggity before we die in our beds.
No, come on now. I'm just saying. I mean, I like to constantly bring up the fact that this company is absolutely being manipulated by a Chinese.
Oh, 100%.
Chinese party. I mean, yeah. And for some reason, this podcast seems to be the only one that fucking realizes that. This and Colin Moriarty's podcast.
Yeah. They're like, they're 100% ran by the Chinese government.
Coincidence that they strike a deal to work together, and then said company never gave a shit before, but then decides to do a planned attack on what is one of America's largest tech companies.
It's probably pure coincidence,
in
I'm
the
sure.
hopes to negate the revenue around them and simply take it back to China. Oh my
I
god.
So I think this is a weird thing, just because developers already had achievements in the game. Now this is just an added element of it for a social element within Epic
Yeah,
Games.
dude, well, fuck, they're gonna have to get fucking WeChat and shit integrated into Epic Games and all that stuff.
I mean, that makes sense, but who actually goes on to even like Steam? Who goes on to Steam and looks at how long somebody's played a game? Well, that one's a little different, but like any sort of achievements or anything in a specific game, who actually looks at that shit? I don't know anybody that does
that stuff. I mean, what it is
Yeah.
is it's just what is it? What is it's a feature adoption.
Right.
Online.
No,
They're
I
gonna
know. I
come
know
out with
why they're
this.
doing it. I think it's just
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, we know they're going to come out with this, then they're going to go, hey, your experience points can be used also for discounts on items now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or you can buy like some
Yeah.
fucking special avatar type
Yeah.
shit. You know,
Or like,
I
hey,
know,
here,
but
come buy 1 square mile of Taiwan, you know?
I just think what's weird about it is basically all this is doing is taking the already existing achievements within a game and then just being like, okay, assign a number to them, and then we're going to use them in a different system. So now when they get an achievement, it's going to pop twice, and they're going to get it both in our
They'll
system
probably just
and in
revoke their
yours. It's
achievement. I mean, the people will pull their achievement and they'll pull it. This is the same way Steam does it.
yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I always found that like social system kind of weird, just like how Xbox. I get it to some extent, I guess, because there are some people that were on like a race to get like 1 million gamer
just
score,
keep
and then now
playing
it's blown
longer
past
too,
it.
and it
Yeah,
gets
but it's
cool.
like it's one of those things. Like I don't care what any of my friends get as far as achievement wise. That means nothing to me. I don't fucking care.
Dude, I got
And
a
they
fucking
they set
trophy
it up
yesterday for catching a big old trophy fish.
nice.
Fish in Pro Sim.
What's weird about Xbox too is they actually like if you go I can't remember what you go in. Oh, it's like if you let your screen go to sleep, it'll actually pop up and it'll be like you're in 3rd place out of your friends list for gamer score earned this month. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Maybe. I don't know. I always thought it was a little silly,
Yeah.
but I'm also the same person
I'm looking
that
forward to playing Civ 6, and then the achievement pops up that tells me that Hong Kong is not a country.
you Jesus. You're going full bore into the Chinese puns. Fantastic.
Dude, what's crazy is in FIFA, Colin Moriarty posted this. I always speak Colin Moriarty, but I think he's a great guy. Showed a listener of Colin Moriarty's podcast showed that in FIFA he could not make his username like Free Hong Kong or something like that. It was blocked only in Chinese servers.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong servers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's fucked up.
I mean, that's the least crazy thing out of all of the shit going on, but you know.
It's wild shit. Anyways, yeah. With that, guys, we'll move on to the PlayStation Now games for October. So these games are coming to PlayStation Now. You may not have heard of PlayStation Now. I do indeed have PlayStation Now. It is Game Pass. I'll be the marketing for PlayStation Now because
we do
Sony
more
does
marketing for them than PlayStation does.
Shout out. The Last of Us Part 2 will be available until January 3rd, so jump on in there. Evan will be very happy if you do so. Fallout 76 is coming in October. Amnesia Collection is coming in October. Desperados 3 is coming. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Victor Vran Overkill Edition. And yet another Zombie Defense HD is also coming to PlayStation Now. And we don't know what's leaving. Usually that comes week after, 2 after.
I don't even know if we really cover that too often because it
so
doesn't.
All over the place.
It's really hard to follow.
Okay. Well,
On the other side of things, the new additions and coming soon for Xbox Game Pass. So available now, you can get Totally Accurate Battle Simulator on cloud, console, and PC. The Procession to Calvary, which is a weird name for a game, is coming to cloud, console, and PC. And Visage is coming to cloud, console, and PC on October 12th. Back for Blood is coming. What?
Is it Visage or Visage?
I thought it was Visage, but I don't know. I don't look all these up. Vaz. I don't look all these up on how to pronounce them before we do this. I don't have that kind of time. October 12th, Back for Blood is coming to cloud, console, and PC, and Destiny 2 Beyond Light is coming to PC. On October 14th, Ring of Pain is coming to cloud, console, and PC, and the Riftbreaker is coming to cloud, PC, Series X, and Series S, not Xbox One. And October 15th, The Good Life is coming to cloud, console, and PC.
Anything there that strikes you? I'm a little confused with Destiny 2 now finally coming to PC.
Yeah, they took their sweet time on that. I mean, that's been out for like a year? Almost? Yeah, about a year.
Pretty fascinating there. Upcoming game releases. My cool cats and kittens. October 8th, Knockout Home Fitness comes to the Switch. Lego Marvel Superheroes comes to the Switch. Metroid Dread hits the Switch. Brody is probably getting that and playing it. Tetris Effect Connected comes to the Switch. You can diss it, then all of your friends will end up playing Tetris, and we'll be right where we were at with Tetris 99. I guarantee it. October 11th, Book of Travels comes to PC. October 12th, Back for Blood comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. I can't wait for the Reddit comments about how you can't shoot out headlights. Disco Elysium, the final cut, comes to Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Ori, the collection, comes to Nintendo Switch. And Gang Beasts also comes to the Switch. Then on October 14th, A Little Golf Journey comes to PC and Switch. Despot's Game comes to PC. Godstrike comes to PS4 and Xbox One. Jackbox Party Pack 8 hits the waves, hitting PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Ruin Raiders comes to PC and Nintendo Switch, and Sphere Flying Cities comes to PC. So a pretty solid week of game releases, my man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play Back for Blood because it's coming to Game Pass, but I probably won't get into it. I have Gang Beasts on Xbox, so I won't be picking that up on Switch. Jackbox Party Pack 8. I don't know. We used to play
down a bit.
They really have. I think they're running out of ideas. Which fair enough. I mean, they put out a lot of fucking games, but yeah, we used to play a lot of Jackbox, and this I don't know. I've kind of fallen off of them. This is also very true. COVID was also a thing that kind of threw a wrench in, life.
Well, Woody Nice is just online Jackbox, like.
Yeah, that's very true. And I know you can kind of set that up, but they haven't done it on their own.
Well, you can do it, but you're fucking sharing your screen off your computer with your family or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it through Discord or whatever you want to do. So Metroid Dread actually got really good reviews, and I've been tossing back and forth whether I was going to get this game, and I think I'm going to hold off for a little bit, not waiting for a sale because it's a Nintendo game, but I have some other shit I need to play through first and then come back to it. This is true. I still have to finish Tales of Arise. I haven't finished it yet. That was another thing I played and I didn't even mention. But I'm really heavily considering picking up Tetris Effect Connected. I like some good Tetris, man. No. I like some good Tetris, man. No. I might pick that up. I don't know what the price tag is on it, but I like Tetris. And everything I've seen, that's like the best version of Tetris you can play. So maybe I'll check it out.
Bold statement, Cotton.
It's not my statement. It's just what I've seen. So,
any other comments regarding China?
Nope. Okay. That's all you, buddy.
Guys, that'll do it for the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. You can also find us live 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday evening on the dot. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and the audio version of the podcast goes live every single Friday morning, early in the morning. Let your friends know about our podcast. Please give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. Give us a little review. It helps us out a ton. Until next time, stay safe out there. And it's fall, dude. It's crazy. It's starting to get cold.
It's fall, y'all.
It's fall, y'all.
I have a million pumpkins in my house now. My wife has done the fall decorating.
Well, thank goodness my white suburban wife has not hit the Hobby Lobby yet.
Oh, she will. She might go with my wife. You never know.
Fuck. No. God, no. Anyways, guys, see you later.